So yeah, recording has been started. So yeah, that will be recorded and sent as a YT private link. So you can access from that, right? Okay. Don't share that in it. Good. Everyone joined it, right? I mean, so any prior doubts regarding the program or anything so that I can clarify it, right? So that's the thing. Speak out, guys. I mean, I need your responses. Yeah, Ankit, speak up. Yeah, Ankit, you can unmute yourself. I think you are unmuted.
Yeah, it's audible right now. Okay. So I
Yeah.
asked that we are using Jira, right? So everything, the tasks are means one by one we including in Jira, and then we proceed as per the Jira, or we can also using the Slack also.
Yeah, we can use Slack. Slack is just a messaging. That's it. To know that
Okay,
whether
that's a must.
how to do or something like that, collaborative things. Okay, but the Jira is a project management tool, right? You use for uh if you have multiple people in your team, then you want Jira any day. You want to create a ticket or a task, then proceed with that, right?
Okay, thank you. And we are building the GitHub repository from scratch, or we have already the GitHub repository and we are working on that, some kind of
So
like.
there is a open source startup called Open Project. We will use that. I'll say about that later, but yeah, we will use that project or company. Okay, if I say Foldly, I mean it's a company. So if I can show you this. So we will use this company called as Open Project, which we will be deploying. This is a just static website, but we'll be deploying.
Right now it's showing the WordPress slide only. If maybe you
No, no.
are showing someone or
Actually, if
some
I can
other
show you
slide.
the deployment, what is this label pull preview? Yeah, let me see it. So you will see the deployment done by GitHub Actions. So this is the website which we will be deploying. It's similar to Jira. Okay, admin is a password.
No, we are still seeing your Word document, Deepak. I
Oh,
guess
shit.
you, yeah.
Okay. Fine. I should share whole screen. I think so. So, yeah, 1 minute. So, can you see this screen now?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
it's
visible right
visible.
now.
Yes, yes.
So, we are picking open project. Okay. One of the project management tool. Okay. Project management tool, which is uh, heavily used in the company. So we will be set upping the whole company. If I say the startup, it's a startup. Now it's not a startup, it's like a company, multinational company now. So yeah, we'll be set upping that tool because it's completely open source. That is why we are using that tool. And in the name only, it's open project, right? So yeah, it's completely open. So this is one of the deployment done using GitHub Actions. So if I can scroll it down, I mean, admin is a password, same like any other. So yeah, I with this you can manage your whole infra. What to say that the project management things like doing task, maybe creating Scrum boards or something like that. by you can create your backlogs, user stories, bugs, everything for free. Okay. If you, because that's open source, right? Completely open source. So yeah, you can deploy in your own environment. If I generally say that, okay, this project which we are deploying now, generally in the YouTube or something like that, they just see some project from maybe a side project from for example pet clinic, or maybe some other project like go that microservice application, what to say, boutique or something like that, that are just meant for demos. But we are deploying whole startup, a company, monolith service company. So yeah, we will be deploying that. If I say this whole this repository ka code words, I mean, it is around like 5 lakh lines of code. Okay. So not 5 lakh, 5 cr, sorry. Yeah, 5 cr lines of code. It has like 133 branches and 248 tags anyway. It is very much good to have good to have project in your resume or something like that, because if you have like this much big monolith application deployment in your resume or CV, if you can scale this up, you'll get a lot of things. Maybe after this batch, maybe I will launch the microservice application also, same like this, which is like a enterprise project. So yeah, this is an enterprise kind of thing. Okay. Yeah, you can see how to set up and all those stuff, but it is very good one. It is generally written in Ruby if you see it. Yeah, it is completely written in Ruby. Maybe if you have worked on JavaScript or maybe Maven applications, this will be newer to you guys. I mean, yeah, that will be good. And moreover, we'll be using GitLab for that to set up whole things anyway. If I went to this open project, if you see, you can install open project from these and all those stuff. But the more interesting thing is that this has career page also. Okay, you can even showcase them that, okay, even apply to them and say that, okay, I deployed your project at scale using multi-region, all those stuff. So yeah, you can be that guy also. Maybe they aren't listed DevOps engineer, but you will get soon that thing. Maybe you can directly email them that I am good at DevOps and all the stuff, right? Okay. So, and one more thing is that, yeah, this is a thing about open project. It's an open source project management tool. You may ask like, why we are using Jira then, right? I think that's a question maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, why we are using Jira then? Because Jira is like everywhere used. Maybe if you're going from a fresher stage to experienced engineer, everywhere they use Jira. It's diverse and everyone, maybe around like 70 to 60% people, 60% companies around the world use Jira. Right? Maybe I'm wrong or right anyway, because that is why it's a most popular project management tool. That is why we are using Jira. So that's the only reason. Maybe you can always use this also. This one, this open project common. Maybe click on create new project, maybe template. So you'll do is fellowship. I need to 1 minute. Okay. Fellowship project. So when you, yes, all companies require Jira in their production and workflow. Yeah, it is required. And maybe Scrum project, right? So it can be public or private or something like that. Maybe describe the things here, whatever. So you successfully created it. maybe afterwards, you will do is that all those stuff. It is not maybe not started yet, so maybe we can say that it is on track. Okay, on track. Okay, yeah. Maybe you can add your description and maybe add your members, invite your members. Same like your Jira, right? So we will be deploying that because this is a real-time database, right? It is using real-time database. So yeah, whenever you refresh now, it won't change it. I mean, it is not a static website. So yeah, so that will be very much interesting to see how real-time databases work. I mean, how read databases work and all those stuff, right? So there are many integrations you can work with. So yeah, this is a project we'll be deploying, and yeah, yeah, there are other options also, but maybe you can do it. Is that explore things, maybe try out other projects also. But I feel that this is a good mix of blend of project where you have multiple technologies and it's a monolith kind of application. So it's at a scale. I mean, you have like 5 CR lines. So even your DevSecOps practices come into the picture. How do you handle that many vulnerabilities and all those stuff, right? So if I went to description of this whole fellowship, so yeah, we'll start with Jira, saying that today we'll start with Jira. I'll explain how Jira works and all those stuff, how Scrum planning and all those stuff. So so it will be very much interesting starting from Jira, where we track whole things using Jira by creating tickets or tasks, by using Scrum bots and sprints, backlogs. If you're a fresher, don't worry, I'll explain that in a bit. So yeah, and moreover, we will integrate with our Slack channel, which we created, so you can get notifications with the help of Jira. I mean, integrated with the Jira with the Slack, so that that is the most common integration used in the industry. And moreover, we'll be integrating with GitLab or GitHub, so that users in the Slack can get notified about what we are doing in the Jira. So you can track whole project using Jira, as I said. We'll be creating the tasks, whichever we are doing in the session. For example, if we take one task like creating multiple accounts using organization, so we'll create a task or a epic or story in the Jira saying that this is the task we are doing, and yeah, this is a session two or session one, in the session one we are doing. So everyone will get that access, or maybe I'll invite you guys. Yeah. But Jira is somewhat costly though. I mean, it charges way more. So let's see how much it charges. So one more other thing is that whenever you're going from scratch now, whenever you're set upping your own startup deployment or release, so you need cloud. Okay, you need to cloud to deploy whole things, right? Whatever it is, your EKS cluster also you have to deploy in the cloud. Maybe we are not using on-premise because no startups use on-premises because it's heavy, costly. You know that there is a maintenance cost, overhead, and all those stuff. Only maybe uh some little MNCs like maybe that DCS or any other MNCs may use on premise, but no one uses uh on premise nowadays anyway. Yeah, I think that because startups are like are in a stage of where, for example, AWS gives around 100K dollars for the startup. Maybe GCP also gives some 100K USD for the startup. Why do they prefer on-premise then? That is why startups prefer this cloud environments to deploy their whole infrastructure. Yeah, speak out, guys. I mean, Ankit. Yeah, that is fine. I mean, I want you guys to be interactive. I mean, chat is fine. You can chat, but Maybe if you are speaking out, it will be good.
Hi, Deepak.
Yeah, yeah.
Now will we be creating all any AWS accounts to deploy on this setup?
Yeah. We'll be creating dev, staging, production, and environments
So
and setting
every
that.
individual will be creating them, and you will be explaining the way it will
Yeah,
be.
I'll be explaining how to create that. There are multiple methods to create that.
Okay.
So the second one is that okay, you will create multiple accounts and multiple environments, okay, with the help of control tower, AWS control tower, uh, and as I said, if you are creating multiple accounts, you need to have that compliance and governance in the view. So we'll be practicing, we'll be doing learning about best practices used in the whenever we are creating multiple accounts. Maybe if you're using the practices of WAF, which is like well architected framework. In the view of that framework, we will get to know things. Okay, as I said, we'll be using control tower, landing zone setup. Landing zone means it's also a part of control tower. I'll be explaining that how to create multiple accounts, using multiple accounts, multiple environments, using this control tower, or even organizations. Yeah, you can even use organizations, but I'm just explaining those things because that's optional thing anyway, right? You can create with this both organization and control tower, but the most used way for the startups is control tower. So I'll be doing that. And moreover, single sign-on. I know this may be new for you. I mean, single sign-on means within one page you can log into around 15 plus accounts or n number of accounts. So yeah, it will be interesting also. I mean, uh, you can always create cross account roles. For example, you have a dev environment and a production environment. So you want production environment to access the some S3 bucket from dev environment. So you can create cross account roles for it.
So like basically it will be the RBAC you're saying, right?
Yeah,
Role-based,
something like that. Yeah.
role-based access controls.
Yeah. Something
Okay.
like that. And you will implement well architected framework practices. Yeah, as I said, some 7 pillars are there in the well architected framework. You'll follow that to achieve that business outcome. As I said, DevOps is all about process oriented rather than tools. Okay, if you follow the process correctly, automatically you'll pick the right tools. So yeah, we will follow that 7 pillars of the well architected framework. So generally, this well architected framework is designed or implemented by your CTO, or maybe your what to say, your DevOps architect who is like 12 years or 10 years of experience. But yeah, it will be valuable skill if you learn it. I mean, even though they implement, but if you learn that how to implement it, how to really achieve the compliance and governance, you will you will get a lot of benefits regarding that. Maybe you will get promoted to the architect, DevOps architect or something like that, and you will get a lot of hikes regarding that. Yeah, knowledge is always useful, right? So yeah, that's the thing. And next we'll be setting our own account. Guys, is that going above your head? I mean, I know some of the some of the things are getting above your head. I mean, yeah, but I'm just giving the overview because maybe you'll get whole overview of the things so that it will be helpful for you to know what I mean. Okay. And moreover, the next thing is that you will have the own networking account or shared account. For example, dev and staging may have some shared services, right? You can share your services with them and shared VPCs. All those stuff will come here. And moreover, you can have that service accounts and all those stuff will come here. Maybe it's somewhat complex, but I'll explain all things. Don't worry about those things. I know no one would do this much complex thing in YouTube or something like that. So yeah, this will be this will be like 10,000% ROI whichever you invested. So yeah, stay tuned and see it. Implement it, sorry. And moreover, we will be using transit gateway to connect multi accounts and all those stuff. Maybe VPN also comes into the picture, side to side VPN or something like that. So we'll be exploring that. And Terraform account factory setup. You can even use Terraform to set up this whole accounts, maybe 40 plus accounts or 50 plus accounts, whatever it is. But that is not much used in this whenever you are setting the accounts. Maybe the Terraform is used mostly whenever you're setting infrastructure, but not mostly used in the whenever you're creating the accounts, because this is a one-time process, right? You won't do again Terraform destroy, right? That is why not that is optional. If you want to do it, you can do it. So yeah. And moreover, this is also optional, but we won't be creating 50 plus accounts, because we won't need that much scale, I mean, or that many accounts, because with each account some cost will be associated. So yeah, maybe 4 accounts or 5 accounts, but it will be enough for you guys. I mean, believe me, it's not about accounts, it's about what things we are doing with that accounts. Okay, right? If we create 50 plus accounts and not doing anything, that will be waste of time. So yeah, maybe we'll be creating limited accounts and play with that, how to connect this account with that account and all the stuff, right? Is that interesting, guys? I mean, or boring or getting
Yes, it's
from your end?
interesting. Deepak. Yep.
Yeah, you are like Chaitanya, you are like 9 years experience, right? Ever heard of this? I mean, this much.
Yes, the total infra, whatever you are explaining is completely relating to me actually, Deepak. So we use Jira for issue tracking tool, and we actually it's a product-based company, so they used to follow on-premise and then both cloud servers as well. So it
Oh,
will be like a hybrid, and I use GitLab as well for the things for CI/CD setup and all.
oh, cool. That will be
And the
amazing.
single sign-on also, yeah, we came across all these type of things and all.
Absolutely. Here, as I
That
said,
was
it will
quite
be like,
relatable for me, Deepak. One like by you are going step by step, right? Like I am just correlating with my own organization, so that's quite interesting for me actually.
yeah, as I said, we are deploying whole startup from scratch.
Yes,
From
yes,
scratch.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That is what it is. As I said, some people directly step into this DevSecOps pipeline and just say that this is an end-to-end thing, all the stuff. So yeah, I'm not getting to that level, but I'm going step by step where every organization will set up their whole things. Okay, maybe if you want to increase some of the steps, you are flexible to increase. I'll say what are the things you can do more. Okay. So yeah, and moreover, next as I said, will be setuping transit gateway. Transit gateway means you can connect multiple accounts, multiple VPCs, whatever things. Okay. Yeah, you can connect multiple accounts or multiple VPCs by setting the cross account roles. Generally, we'll set up the cross account roles, right? With the help of cross account roles, you can set up the transit gateway connections between multiple VPCs. That is also possible. So yeah, we can even go multi-cloud also. I'm not saying you can't you need to restrict over AWS only. Maybe you can play with multi-cloud, but the only problem with multi-cloud is that maybe you will the data transfer charges and all the stuff are very much high, right? The flexible way is not there in the multi-cloud. For example, you have a VPC in your AWS and you want to connect that with the Azure ka VPC. Maybe sometimes transfer charges will be very high, maybe $300 or $400 or something like that. So somewhat it is not that much flexible. Maybe AWS need to be taking that charge away. Maybe GCP is doing that. GCP, as far as I know, transfer charges are free. I think so in the GCP. If anyone know that, maybe you can speak on.
Yes, yes, yes. Like
Yeah,
data
that's
things
that
and
is a like a
all.
boom for guys, you know.
Yeah, compared with AWS and Azure, GCP is quite low actually.
In
Yeah,
that one. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Even with the performance as well, I can see like we use AWS in Kubernetes in general. Like the performance wise, like Google is quite speeder than both AWS and Azure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Full Kubernetes
Every
engine.
cloud has some speciality, Chaitanya. I mean,
Correct. Yes. Yes.
we can't say that AWS is better or
Yes. Yes. Yes.
is
Some like
better.
some services we need to go with some cloud, so it will. Yeah. Whatever
Yeah,
you
maybe
said is
some
exact.
startup is there,
Correct.
Freecon Cloud Labs,
Yes.
where
Yes.
they are building hyper hybrid cloud anyway. I mean, if it scales, I would be the first customer of them, but it is quite inevitable that we can't ignore that data transfer charges
Agree. Agree.
from the AWS or Azure side only. It would be decision that okay, we are waive offing the data transfer charges. They should waive off. I mean, because they are not going completely to other cloud, right? They are just building hybrid cloud. That is somewhat harsh though from the AWS and Azure. Anyway, let's get into the things. Okay. If we get into that technical discussion, it would be on a loop. So yeah. Uh, and moreover, as I said, you can have multiple accounts and all those stuff. So we will develop a culture of well architected framework or DevOps good processes to add some business value, right? It's not about just deploying or something like that. So we will know how to calculate the cost, how to deal with some unregular costs or something like that, how to optimize your whole infrastructure costs and all those stuff. So that will be like your main agenda in your interviews also. Sometimes interview guy may ask like how do you optimize this whole infrastructure cost tell it from scratch. So yeah, you have to tell it. So I'll explain that how to optimize your cost and all those stuff. Okay. As I said, first three things will be around prerequisite setups. So yeah, this is also prerequisite whenever you're deploying your whole startup from scratch. I mean, from scratch means scratch. Okay. And moreover, third will be around setup of some prerequisites before deployment. So before the edge of deployment, you will have some prerequisites to be done because these are must kind of thing. These are very must. First one would be around creating some base variables. I mean, base variables means your AWS access keys or something like that. Maybe SNCC tokens or any other tokens you will generally store in some secret place or something like that. And maybe even you can as we are deploying the whole CI/CD and we are using code tracking tool as GitLab. So there is a concept of variables in the GitLab saying that you can store your access keys, tokens, variables, whole stuff in the GitLab group. Okay, so that it will be inherited to all the projects. In the GitLab group, you can have multiple projects. So whenever you define that AWS keys or AWS SNCC tokens or Sonar Cloud tokens or whatever it is, okay, there may be n number of tokens. So whenever you define at the group level, automatically that will be inherited to the projects also.
Agree, Deepak. Like even in our organization, I came across this variables concept. Like I am saying as a concept here, like we have the release variables and then prod variables, UAT variables. Like we can have different variables in the
Yeah,
GitLab.
yeah, 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 yeah. We'll
I
have
came
that.
across. Yes, yes.
Yeah, you will have multiple accounts, right? You need not to specify at every
Correct.
project or every
Correct.
report. If you just specify at the group level, automatically, maybe if you have 10 projects, 10 repos in the group, automatically that will be inherited. Everyone getting it right? I mean, is that going above your head, Devrat, Nitin?
Understanding.
Understanding. Okay, I'll explain in a good way in that. So yeah, Hana and
Right.
uh,
Yes, I understand, Deepak.
yeah. Fine. Cool.
It's been going on it to me.
And moreover, as I said, we'll be creating some base variables at a GitLab group level, maybe around like 10 to 15 or something like that. And we'll be setting that. And one more thing is that you will have some base AMIs, base AMIs using Packer to distribute. I'll explain the AMI concept later, but AMI is like a template where you use to launch your EC2 instances or nodes. So you can even launch your Kubernetes nodes using the AMIs at a very quick manner. In the AMIs, in the template, AMI template, you can have multiple softwares installed, and maybe you can use that. You can use that, and we'll be using a popular tool called Packer to do that. So yeah, that's one of the thing. And maybe you'll create whole a base Docker file with all softwares dumped in. Why I'm saying this, because whenever you're using the GitLab CI/CD pipeline, creating the GitLab CI/CD pipeline, you can directly specify the image name where you have all the softwares dumped in. For example, you have Docker. Okay, you have Docker in the not Docker, maybe what to say, Sonar Cloud software in this base Docker file. Whenever you specify in the GitLab CI/CD pipeline that uh, image name equal to this Docker file, and give that at a GitLab CI/CD pipeline, automatically as the Sonar Cloud is installed on that, you can use that directly without specifying the Sonar Cloud installation there, because when you specify directly Sonar Cloud installation, specify the Sonar Cloud installation there, so latency, I mean the CI/CD build time will increase, right? Is that fine? I mean, guys, are you
Yes.
understanding?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that
Yes.
is why we are using some base Docker file where you have all the softwares dumped in. So it can be like 2 GB or 3 GB also. No problem. It doesn't need to be like multi-stage or something like that here. It is just for dumping and just for use and through. Right? I mean,
Correct.
YouTube, in the YouTube or any fellowship, no one would tell this much anyway. Cool. And moreover, we'll be buying an base domain name, right? So you have to buy, guys. I mean, okay. Is that okay? You have to buy.
So, do
There
we
is no
need to
option
buy it
to.
from GoDaddy or something websites?
Some name chip is there where you can get around $1 to $2. That's it. You have to
Okay.
spend some
Okay.
money.
Sure. That's
So
totally
yeah,
fine.
I can't. Maybe if I have some things I can give, but domain name is inevitable. So yeah, you have to buy it. So that's a investment you're doing for yourself. So maybe you can use for your future purposes also that domain. Okay, so maybe buy that domain to set up that, to set up the whole infrastructure. So yeah, it won't be much costly. I mean, $1 to $2 or something like that. Even buying the domain name would be good experience for you guys also. Maybe in your organization also sometimes you have to buy domains and all those stuff. So yeah, and moreover, as I said, it will be AWS centric kind of, but you can use Azure also. But anyway, we'll be using Route 53 to set up that, and maybe ACM, Amazon Certificate Manager, certificate manager to attach certificate to that and all the stuff. But we'll be doing this certificates at later part when we deploy the whole infra. So yeah, we will be attaching that later. So as I said, these are the prerequisites, and moreover, some other prerequisites are also there. Like you can have your base VPC, base VPC, and networking defined as per some network engineer. You can say that, okay, our network engineer defined this CIDR ranges, this IPv4 or IPv6 ranges, or something like that, by our network engineer. Maybe I can also give some info about that CIDR or something like that. You can use in your projects also. And these are optional. Oh, if I say these are optional. Some are like base CI/CD templates. If I say, yeah, you can use it, but not much useful in the terms of CI/CD. Maybe you can create your own base CI/CD template if you want to use the CI/CD multiple times. So yeah, and there are many other prerequisites also. Uh, maybe one of the thing is to say that I forgot. Yeah, I'll dump in if I got that. Okay, yeah, not dump in, maybe write in. Okay, and the fourth, is that okay, guys? I mean, the
Yes,
explanation.
yes.
Okay, is that interesting? I mean, that I forgot. Forgot to ask.
Very interesting, Deepak.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If that is interesting, and if you are willing to invest some time on this, great. I don't know whether how many of you guys are fresher, but it will be immensely valued if you are doing like this project, guys. I mean, you can fill up whole resume with this description, kind of.
For
You
sure.
can fill up
Yes, Deepak. Like
because you worked on this.
correct. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
It will be like immensely value, but people are somewhat not getting to know that I'm doing this program anyway. I picked some hand-picked candidates also. I gave some people access. So yeah, there are many people there here. So yeah, let's go with fourth part, where you have like multiple DevSecOps CI/CD pipelines. As I said, it's a DevSecOps. Security will be also in the in the scenario. Okay. Security will be also in the scenario where you have where you have to take care of the security also. So we'll be taking care of some practices of security, like not giving the access to everyone, maybe role-based access control system, something like implementing some policies even on GitLab level. So yeah, some practices will be taken care of to implement that DevSecOps. And first thing is that, as I said, you'll be having the GitLab pipelines. I'm saying pipelines. Why I'm saying pipelines? Because as I said, you have multiple environments, right? One is dev, staging, one is like production. So for every environment, you will have different pipeline, right? Right, guys?
For sure. Yes.
Yeah, for sure you will have for every environment you will have different pipelines or something like that. So you will design the environment based pipelines and all those stuff. If I say in one pipeline, in one script only, you can define whichever things are there in one environment, whichever things are there in another environment also. Yeah, that's a way of intelligent pipelining. Okay, intelligent CI/CD pipeline making. So yeah, we'll be doing that in that way, because we don't. I mean, you can have multiple scripts also, multiple CI/CD scripts also. That's a way of GitLab GitHub Actions, but in GitLab you can't do a thing you can't do, I think so. I mean, you can do, but one thing is that you need to pass that uh pass that variable here, I mean, pass that script in the main pipeline. So yeah, that doesn't differ much. So yeah. So yeah, anyway, let's move forward. And one more thing is that, as I said, security will be like main thing. So yeah, these are industry tools like a Snyk or Sonar Cloud or OSWAP or Trivi, which are used for container scanning or something like that. Maybe you can always use another tool called BuildSafe, which is new. If anyone know BuildSafe, okay. Anyone know BuildSafe? I mean,
No.
No, Deepak. Like,
okay, Sayam
nah,
Pathak ka product, I think.
okay.
Anyone know Cube Simplify or
No.
okay, fine. BuildSafe is a tool where you can use to design. Sorry. You can use to build your Docker images with zero vulnerabilities, vulnerabilities. So if open project has like 550 vulnerabilities, building the Docker image with the BuildSafe reduces from 550 to zero.
Like
So
BuildSafe is also like a third party tool or something, like as an 3B or something, Deepak, or like
yeah, it's
it's,
a third party.
yeah, it cannot be come with the cloud, right? Like the cloud we don't
No,
have
no,
that.
no. It's a just I mean, no one are doing 550 to no one are doing zero CV images except BuildSafe. BuildSafe is like
Okay.
BuildSafe is a completely third party, even like Trivi. Okay,
Sure,
we'll
sure.
integrate
Okay.
it with CI/CD pipeline
Okay. Okay.
because every time it scans, it will do the zero CV, right?
Sure,
So,
sure.
so it's somewhat experimental. Let's see how it goes because BuildSafe is not like a established company. So there are other options also like Wolfram and options. Let me options as well. Let's view that also. Like for example, you have Wolfram. If anyone know Wolfram, so maybe spelling may be wrong. Chain Guard. If anyone knows Chain Guard by chance. So yeah, for security scans, you'll use that things, okay? And you will have a doubt. Now, a very good, if you are a very good DevOps engineer or a normal engineer, you'll have a doubt that, okay, what about dashboarding? You have multiple scanned results, right? Sonar Cloud is like a SaaS tool. Sync is like another tool. OSWAP is another tool. Trivy is another tool. BuildSafe is another tool. ChainGuard is another tool. So you will have like multiple scans, right, guys?
Correct. Correct. Yes.
So you need some dashboard to visualize those whole things, right? You
Okay.
want a dashboard to see how Sonar Cloud works and a single dashboard to view all things. Not like Sonar Cloud dashboard can view only Sonar Cloud scans. Snyk scan only can view Snyk scan. So generally, I got to know that okay from security teams consulting or something like that from my work experience, they'll use a tool called as Archery Sec. I think I forgot to mention here. Let me add it. Uh, Security scans station using Archery Sec. Okay, you can even Google it. So yeah, Archery Sec is completely open source. No need to worry. Nothing billing. No, Grafana. I didn't tried it, but I think it won't support this external tools also.
For Grafana, I guess it's dedicated for only Kubernetes deployments and bots and all. I guess
No,
these.
not only Kubernetes. You can even deploy. You can even view it the infrastructure, cloud
Yeah,
infrastructure.
infrastructure as well. Yeah.
But security, I don't prefer that. Because for a security, I mean, you will need to have that vulnerabilities graph or something like that. But Grafana, I don't think so. It is not that much into security. So yeah. So yeah, maybe Google it, Archerisec. If just Google it, so yeah, you will get it. It's completely open source. So yeah. Right, open source orchestration tool, so you will get all those stuff. What are the vulnerability trends? Grafana doesn't do, right? I mean, dynamic scans, infrastructure scans, so you can get all those scans results. I think Grafana doesn't do that. I think so. There are multiple types of scans. I'll explain that later. SAST, DAST, that what to say, vulnerability testing, and there are many types of tests. I'll explain that, dependency testing and all those stuff. So yeah, it maximum covers all those stuff. So yeah, it is much useful whenever you are doing stuff. So yeah, I'm covering every point, guys. I mean, if you see that I'm not leaving things muted, right? Maybe in YouTube also no one is covering like this. They are just integrating tools. That's it. They are not talking about the business value and all the stuff. So we are doing from scratch, right? We have to deploy whole startup. It's our startup. So yeah, had to deploy that, right? So if I get back, so yeah, let me take 1 minute, okay? Add. Okay, let me take 1 minute, guys. Okay. I had some mail regarding my customer or something like that. So someone joined new, so yeah, let's join her. And anyway, recording will be available, right? Mm. So everyone joined now, right? I mean, 14 participants only. So let's see, 1 minute. Yeah, recording is happening. No worries. Yeah, as I said, we'll be using the archery sec to do that. And yeah, it will be very much interesting to see how it is it is solving the problems of the security teams. So yeah, as I said, it's a real DevSecOps, right? Real DevSecOps, not like the artificial DevSecOps, whichever you're seeing in the YouTube or something like that. So yeah, it will be very much interesting and very much. I mean to say that uh, it will be very much hard when you make hands-on, but I realized that okay, if I just say and leave, you won't do that. So I decided that okay, I already developed and deployed this whole thing, so I am thinking that I'll give documents and source code so you can deploy it and all the stuff. Okay, is that fine, guys?
Yes, that's totally fine. Deepak.
Because if you deploy this, I mean, it would take 1 year or 1.5 year. I'm just kidding, but because you would get lot of issues and all those stuff, and if I run that thing, I mean, it would take a lot of time. So here you're coming for learning and all the stuff, right? So maybe you can keep in it your resume or something like that. So yeah, that's the main motto. Okay. And as I said, you will have multiple branches. As I said, you have multiple environments, so you will have multiple branches. So we'll design a good branching strategy and merging strategy. I mean, okay, branching and merging strategy with main dev and release branches. So yeah, it will be very much interesting. And one more thing is that packager.io. We'll use some tool called packager.io to distribute your application across multiple distributions. What I mean multiple distributions? For example, if you want to install Jenkins, what will you do? You generally you would maybe install binary or something like that from the UI, or use apt or yum packages, right? So we want our open project to be listed on apt or yum or any other package managers. So everyone can just use our commands and just install the open project in their thing, right? Is that make sense? If I Google it, packager.io. So everything are like production ka thing. I mean, the real world use cases. I know many are not aware of these things, right? Anyone aware of this packager.io?
No,
Anyone
no,
used it?
Deepak. No.
No. Okay. It is directly whenever you for example you push your code to GitHub, automatically the package will be built. Okay, you can deploy your packages on servers using apt yum and all the stuff, right? You know, at least apt, right? Apt yum
Yes, yes, app
library and
TM,
all the stuff.
correct. Yeah.
So you can just do like this. Okay, you can even custom commands, you can create your custom commands or something like that. Okay, now you got it right, everyone. How this how this app is able to recognize the package, how they are uploading the things into package manager, right? So they'll use some tool called packager.io to do that. So it's completely open source, but some pricing may be there. Let's see. So it's for private repositories, but maybe let's see how it goes. Okay, if it is like a public one, I, let's see. Let's see what are the supported languages. Okay, Ruby is supported, so yeah, that will be good, right? We are using the Ruby one only, right?
Correct. So, like, will it be same like as an builder tool like Maven or something, but it's related for
Yeah,
app?
it's something like yeah, it will be like a build tool, but we will be not integrating with CI/CD. Maybe we can try it, but the package manager cost is somewhat high, and
Correct,
moreover,
correct.
every time every CI/CD pipeline would not generate a package. That is a senseless thing, right? Nothing like a mad guy. So you need a release branch. From the release branch, we'll integrate that.
Sure, sure.
So you have multiple branches, right? As I said, dev, main, release. So whenever it comes to release branch, after completing the release branch pipeline, automatically that will trigger packager.io, right? Packager.io. This one, where is this? Packager.io. Using CI/CD pipeline, that will automatically generate this whole apt commands like this duplicate or something like that, right? Oh, cool. It's already there, open project. Okay, cool. They're using open project example only. Okay. Okay, anyway, it's natively supported only. Okay, that will be cool anyway. Oh yeah, you can have multiple support channels and all the stuff. I think I have one. Let me see if that is working or not. So yeah, I done the thing, open project. So yeah, some are failed, but some are successful. So if I see some Debian ka thing got, yeah, Ubuntu got successful. So it will distribute into multiple packages. With this help of this commands, you can install in your Ubuntu 22.04. That's it. You have to just copy paste in your Ubuntu 22.04. Automatically that will be installed on port 8080 or something like that. Right? Now you got understood, right? How your packages got distributed into multiple, your application got distributed into multiple operating system or Linux distribution. So it will generally run on a virtual machine to do that. So yeah, these are the logs. I know that. So it will build that and yeah, maybe package that. So this is very much useful, guys. I mean, because at the end of the day, people use these commands only, right? At the end of the day, you are using Jenkins, right? If you want to install, you will use commands only, right? Chaitanya.
Yes, yes, correct.
At the end of the day,
Yes, we used to like using
install
commands
only.
only. Yes, correct. Exactly.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you will use that to install that.
Yes,
Same
correct.
like that, Open Project also uses that. So yeah, where is this? Okay. If you see here, releases. Where are releases? Yeah, deployments. So deployment is fine, but what about release branch? Let's see release. Okay, release 2.5. So yeah, releases. So yeah, if you see there is a binary and it will always package the binary and it will give binary plus the commands to run it. Where is the commands to run it? It should give if it is using that. So assets. So assets are there, but yeah, maybe they are not listed here. Okay, let's see that later. Okay. Yeah. You can automatically integrate that. So yeah, I'll explain how what are the tags and all the stuff also. But yeah. Cool, right?
Yes, yes, Deepak.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say about that.
Yes.
Improve the performance of uh your CI/CD pipeline. So as I said, the performance, as I said, to improve the performance, you will use some catchy or something like that uh, to reduce the build time. That's a one thing. And second thing is that shade runners or concept like that to decrease the build time. And moreover, the build time reduction is the responsibility of both developer and DevOps engineer, right? For example, if the application build time is huge, some uh, some false packages are being built. So developer need to take care of that and reduce that packaging speed or something like that. So I have done that for you guys. No worries. I understand some Ruby. So yeah, I have done that for you guys. So no need you guys to, I mean, you guys don't know Ruby, right? So yeah, I know Ruby anyway. So I had done that. So we'll be reducing that to 44 minutes to not 4 minutes. It's around 7. Okay, anyway. 7 or 8, maybe. Yeah. That is a thing. We'll be reducing that using some other strategies also. Maybe we'll be using another tool called Dagger also, if you know Dagger. If anyone know who is a founder of co-founder or founder of Docker, anyone know? Guys, anyone know founder or co-founder of Dagger? Don't Google it. Just say it.
No, no, Deepak. We are not sure.
Anyone heard Solomon Hikes?
I heard solo on hikes, but
Yeah, he was a founder of Docker. Okay.
okay.
So he at that time he thought that okay, let's build a portable container engine, container tool. So after some time, he built a portable CI/CD pipeline. Right? He built a portable CI/CD pipeline. You can just share your pipeline with your friends, and it will work there also, here also.
Oh,
Right?
that's great actually.
Really great, right? If you're running in your production, it will work. If it is running in the maybe in the dev environment, it will work. So it is making CI/CD pipelines portable. So it has very much big use case, right? You know, push and pray, right? You guys do push and pray. I don't think so. Why YouTubers don't say about these very good tools? I mean, they just are like a copy paste guys. I mean, even some of the guys who are like very good in the DevOps ecosystem, they are just using the Jenkins old tool only. Wow, I mean that is a. I mean, you can always integrate your Jenkins with a Dagger also. That is also there. That is also flexible. So it would use some Dagger cloud. You can just share your CI/CD pipeline, CI pipeline with your friends. That's it. That will run there also. As I said, user modules and all those stuff. And it has some things like yeah. One more thing is that you can code it in your favorite language. Why I'm saying coding is better here? Because in the CI/CD pipeline, whenever you're using YAML or something like that, you're not controlling things better. What is mean by controlling things better means you're not using loops, conditionals in the YAMLs, right? You want loops, condition, channels, all the stuff, right? So we can code it using Python or something like that for better performance. Let me be sure that it won't be that much complex. Just a basic Python would be enough. Maybe, yeah, right. I'm leaving it for you guys. I mean, we will use maybe if I get time, I'll code it. If I won't, maybe I'll leave it for you guys. Maybe there is a good docs you can refer that and maybe do that. Okay, fine. And moreover, you can have that functions concept to do that reusable things, right? And one more thing is that yeah, as I said, eliminate push and pray. Dagger makes your pipeline truly portable. If it works on your laptop, it will work in CI, right? It will work in production, right? That is a like a very good concept, guys. I mean, I had I had a startup idea like this, but this Dagger already done that. So yeah, I had to revert back. So yeah, so catch it for speed. This is one of the best advantage, guys. I mean, for example, 80% faster build times, right? You can use the catchy system here. It is more effectively than the GitLab catchy system. By default, you can use the GitLab or GitHub catchy system, but it is not that much effective because here some things are there like intelligent catching. Where is this intelligent catching? Shit. No more YAML soup. DevOps. Yeah, where is this use case study? Is that interesting, guys? I mean, the Dagger or
Yes.
where is this? I met Solomon Hikes. He was like very. I mean, he makes he makes some technologies which last for decades of time. So he was like lovely. I mean, but no one really cares about him. But yeah, it is this platform Dagger engine. Where is this intelligent catching? They removed or Cutting times. It's not only catches packages, but also avoid unnecessary rebuilds, right? Where is this intelligent catching? Actually, intelligent catching would be there here. Let me see it. Where is this? Dagger Cloud. So visualize your pipelines, you can operational insights. It is solving whole problems your CI/CD pipeline. So yeah, distributed catching or intelligent catching. They have named it differently. Okay. This is the concept I'm talking about. Okay. For example, you can have multiple environments, right? You will have multiple, for example, this may be prod, uh, this may be dev, this may be the QA or something like that. You can run the catchy system in a way that you can distribute, you can run as a distributed catching system, right? Distributed computing and all the stuff, right? That's the same inspiration they took. So yeah, they are running distributed catchy system, which improves your pipeline by 80%. So yeah, I have tried it. So it is completely like I'm shocked that okay, this happening, but no YouTuber or no one are doing stuff like this. I mean, it is very much useful if you are doing stuff. I mean, you can always attend these meetings and all the stuff, ask questions, join their LinkedIn, GitHub or something like that. They're a cool guys. Okay, there are many tools like this. I mean, yeah, but unintentionally people don't know these things because they just know tools which are done by the YouTubers, Trivi, whatever it is, Trivi, Sonar Cloud, whatever it is. So they just know those things only, but they don't know real world works, how real world works. So yeah, this is very good. I mean, this guy is Solomon Hicks. Where is this middle? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Hmm. He's a cool guy. I mean, if we would not have a that Docker, we would run whole in infrastructure in the cloud, and the cost would go like in a boom, right? So yeah, he built Docker and all the stuff. So we have to respect him. So yeah, he makes immense products like this, where it is much useful. There are many products in cloud native ecosystem, but some products are like very much useful. They are like a standard, right? For example, Docker or Kubernetes, they are like a standard, right? So for example, if you're talking about containers with your friend, then you would say that I built a Docker container, but you will not say that I built a container. That is why it's a standard, right? So I want a Docker Dagger also may make as a standard, right? So I'm also part of their community and all the stuff. So yeah, I attended some meetings and I also contribute to them because they're open sourced. Not as a coder or something like that. Maybe as a I have done some podcasts or something like that. Maybe some marketing or something like that. Right. These are very good products compared to all. So yeah, that's about Dagger. Where I done. Okay. Dagger. Yeah. And these are other things also. Maybe you can have the updating the Docker tags or your Docker image tags. Docker image tags. So yeah, you know it, right? I mean, whenever a CI/CD pipeline would trigger automatically, a another tag would be attached to that. So we have to update the Kubernetes manifest also according to that, right, guys? Can I get a coffee? I mean, can I get a time? Okay. Give me 2 minutes, okay? I'll get my coffee or a cup of water. Okay, Devrat and Nitin, is that understanding for you? Because you are a somewhat fresher. Krish also. Is that going above your head or?
Yes, it is going above her, but we are trying to understand it slow by
Okay,
slow.
I'll explain detailedly in the session. So yeah,
Yes, sir, for me
Yeah,
also.
fine, sir.
just get some basic understanding or something.
Yes, sir. Trying to understand it.
Yes, sir.
So this
Yes, sir,
overview is
fine
very
for
much
me.
important for you guys because you need to know what we are doing, right? Until now only it's like 1.5 hours,
Yes.
but just discussing it is like the overview, it is taking this much time. What about doing things? It will be complex also, but I'll be making simple for you guys. Right?
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
fine.
Oh, Clement, have you joined? Okay, Clement hasn't joined. Okay. We can give recording for it. Luca? No, he hasn't also joined. Maybe time problems are. Okay. They are international also anyway. Hannah, you joined, right? Okay. What's the time now, Hannah? There?
It's 4 p.m.
Oh, 4 p.m. Cool. Yeah, that works, right? I mean,
Yep.
for you, I mean, the 7 p.m. IST, which means
Mhm.
around 3 p.m., 3 or 2:30 p.m., right? Is that works for you?
Yes,
Okay.
but sometimes I can't join because I'm still attending the university. That's why
Yeah.
yesterday I didn't join the meeting. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine, fine. Or maybe recorded is available. You can also see that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, fine. Okay, okay, let me take my coffee. So, are you there? I mean, so.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay, cool. Is that good? I mean, is that interesting?
Yeah, it's too much interesting. I'm so hyped up.
Yes, that will be interesting, guys. I mean, that is why we are doing it. If I just make a course and sell it, for me it won't be interesting, and I won't make it all. Right? I want to make some value in it, guys. I mean, they have to be confident, right? If I make a course, there won't be much confidence on it. It will be just like a zero to hero series again. I don't want to make it because YouTube is there for it. YouTube is for learning and something like that. Fellowship is for innovating and doing hands dirty. So yeah, give me 2 minutes. Come back. And moreover, sometimes meets go up to 3 hours or 4 hours also. Is that fine, is that fine, guys?
Yes, yes, Deepak.
Yes,
That's
sir. Fine.
totally
Everyone.
Yeah,
fine.
it's fine.
Yes.
Because this is a fellowship and you have to spend some time. It's a week per week a session, right? Please be available at that day also. Maybe every week I am planning that Tuesday. Okay. Whatever it is flexible, maybe say it in the comments or speak out. So I'm planning it Tuesday, every Tuesday. Is that fine?
It's fine for me, Deepak. It's totally
Fine,
fine.
sir.
Yeah, because if I plan Monday, people would be lazy. Right? Tuesday is like the right day for that. And Sunday would be the doubt session. Okay. maybe same time only. Maybe different time also. It is flexible. So yeah, any suggestions? I mean, about the tools and all the stuff until now. Okay.
So like to be safe, frankly, like I didn't heard these many tools in any any batches and all the buckets. So like I feel like very like I need to grow more actually.
If I
It
say that
was
the basic
yes.
only, basic project only. What is your reaction?
Correct. Correct.
I've dealt
Exactly.
with like 10 times more complex than this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This one, see, it's not about tools. It's like a process. Okay. We are picking tools according to a
Yeah,
process.
even though the process as well, the tools which you are including in every stage, like compared in the security and then CI/CD tools, I was like totally, I haven't heard at all this archery spec and then
Those are
some
production tools. They-
correct. Yes, yes, yes. Those were not part of any course for sure, I guess. But yeah,
no one will teach that.
yes.
Why they would teach that? Just I saw one company who is like targeting the international customers. They're selling a course like a live projects, and they are saying that okay, uh, I'll deploy static S3 website and host that. That's a one project. So they are selling it for $100. So what should I say? People are more interested towards that than this. Maybe I'm not good at marketing or something like that, but anyway, I just reach out to people who are interested, just join in. Not interested, don't join in. That's it. Yeah, different level, different projects, but I don't see why people just join more courses. I don't know, but that is a their problem or something like that. It's their problem, I think. So I mean, they're just into that movie kind of things. They don't know in first place. Yeah. See. First of all, they don't know. Uh,
Yeah, actually, they don't know about what kind of technicality they want in their fields, and they
yeah.
not even know about the what the future is coming and what kind of
These
scenarios will be
YouTubers and these
coming in
course
future.
makers, they sell courses as zero to hero, saying that if you buy this course, you'll get the job or something like that. That is a false promise, guys. I mean, even this fellowship, I mean, I can't guarantee your job. Your whole skills, your whole the deployment. How did you if you do this hands-on deployment, you will definitely maybe get the interview shortlist, and maybe you can always get the job. It's all about projects and skills, guys, not about courses zero to hero or something like that. I know many YouTubers, but I won't say it because it's recorded. And yeah, let us concrete on project than YouTubers. Yeah, that will be good. Let me take 1 minute. I know I'm talking more about YouTubers, but that is a harsh reality, guys. I mean,
Actually, they are
I
the starter
sent like
to
a
give the
collaboration
students.
mail with one guy. He was saying that he was literally saying that okay, I don't want to make my viewers uncomfortable with doing such projects. I want them to be in comfort zone. That's a reality. He was a famous YouTuber with around 240K or 340K subscribers. So yeah, okay. So he was literally doing that message. I was like shocked to you that because they were selling basic courses, thing, basic things, and they are saying that this is zero or something like that. This is a reality of things. Okay.
They having their own business and they are
And making
doing
like
that some kind of investment and then getting back from that kind of score. That's why they are doing this. But instead of you are doing for the to encourage the people and get real knowledge about the project and how they really becoming a better person in real world. That's you are doing right now. So we really appreciate you that you having this kind of heart to give people like what they need, really needed in their professional life cycle.
yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I also make it that very minimal price, right? I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. And it will be very soon the people will know you that how kind of you person and they will definitely buy any kind of any
It's not
amount.
about money, guys. I mean, I get a lot of people.
Yeah,
If I
yeah,
help
yeah, exactly.
people regarding their job or skills or projects, I get some satisfaction regarding that. I earn more in the freelancing and all those stuff. So I don't. I heard I do it for money. So I if I say bluntly, I gave this course free to some people also who cannot afford. Okay, I cannot name the guys. Okay, anyway, that's the
I
thing.
am the one of them. I don't mind. It's really
Okay.
thankful, but I will pay that in some
Yeah,
case.
maybe.
No
Yeah.
problem, no issues. And
Okay.
I'll recommend it to one person in my contact that you are doing this kind of project. So
Yeah, maybe
she
you
will,
can post this as a LinkedIn post also. Maybe the Deepak is doing
she will
like
join tomorrow with you. Okay, yeah,
so. Yeah, maybe you guys can post also so that others can get awareness regarding what we are doing. Right? You got some understanding regarding project and what we are doing, right? So it
yeah.
can be
I'll definitely post on LinkedIn.
yeah. Everyone do that maybe. I'm not
Yeah,
forcing guys. Just do it if it is helpful or just leave it. Okay. Yeah. Let's
no,
continue.
it's needed right now. Yeah, I'll do that definitely.
Yeah, now only one session completed, right? They can cover up, I think. Okay. So one more thing is that let's continue. Okay. Yeah, let's continue. And this is one of the option you can include. As I said, if you see this open project, open project, as I said, they have some option called as pull request preview. What is mean by pull request preview is that let me show you.
Like pull request preview is something like the code which we are currently merging needs to be reviewed by some higher level management and then
Not that.
okay.
Pull preview means
Mm-hmm.
whatever you are changing some things, right? You this guy Nlama changed some HTML or something like that. So GitLab or GitHub Actions, you need to specify a pipeline regarding that. Whenever you specify pull preview label, add pull preview label, GitLab or GitHub Actions will automatically deploy that whole application with this changes, and you can view it. For example, you can view the deployment. right? This is a deployment done in your AWS or something like that. So you will give the access to this. You will give, as I said, you will specify the base variables as a AWS secrets and all the stuff. Whenever you specify that pull preview option, automatically GitHub Actions bot or your GitLab bot or something like that will deploy into the AWS environment, and it will show you the link, right? You can easily see that, right? It will be completely working, so no problem. So if I show you the script which they wrote for this, if you can't understand, no worries, I'll explain that later. But yeah, we'll be also doing that. Maybe you can also do that. There is this workflows. So pull preview, yeah, pull preview.yaml. So they are doing is that if it is a labeled one which has the pull preview, the thing, so it will automatically trigger it, and maybe it will do is that it will generate some file of the pull preview, and moreover it will seed some data in the database, and moreover it will build the Docker Compose, right? Docker Compose is used here. So, and it will do this, expose this ports, right? And you'll pass this AWS secrets, right? Because in the AWS environment only it will be created, and the a link will be generated to do that. Okay. Here, if you see that these are the conditions to satisfy that, GitHub repository equal to OPF open project and schedule. And as I said, label name is pull preview, right? Whenever pull preview is added, automatically a link with deployment pull preview link would be generated. Right. Guys, are you getting it?
Yes, we are getting.
Yes, Deepak.
Yeah. As I said, you can always define the instance type also and all the stuff. So generally pull preview, you can use Docker Compose also, no problem, because just for previewing, right? That's it. So Docker Compose would be go on way. That is why Docker Compose are being used. The main purpose is for pull preview. Just in seconds you can preview it, right? Docker Compose, in seconds you can build the whole things. That is why Docker Compose is being used. I don't think so anyone are saying about the view of Docker Compose. Docker Compose is also useful. We'll also build the Docker Compose workflow, right? It already has, I think so. Let me see. Yeah, it has. So our Sagam, what is it? The half work has been completed. Yeah. So yeah, it is somewhat complex. So yeah, I'll discuss about that later. So yeah, it is using some open project image, and maybe we can use our custom image which we generated. Yeah, it uses some database, and we have to define this all variables, right? At starting of the stages. So I know it's complex. I'll explain that things later. So yeah. So coming to all things, I mean, if you see here, Docker Compose, all those stuff. As I said, I'll give a week time. Maybe every week you'll get some time to learn and build, right? So for example, if I am saying about Docker Compose, I'll not say that again, what is Docker Compose, or what is Docker, what is Kubernetes. This is not a course, okay? You should learn that in that week. Maybe I'll say what are the prerequisite before the session. Today there are no prerequisites, so I did not say it. So I'll say before week only that these are the prerequisite. Maybe learn from YouTube. Maybe I can uh, give some YouTube tutorials also, but you can follow that maybe to learn some things. Maybe it doesn't take that much. You learn a lot of tools and all the stuff, right? Is that okay, guys?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes, Deepak.
Yeah, I'll give that things so that you can learn from those things and all the stuff, right? That is why I kept a week. Week is perfectly fit per week session so that you can build and innovate and all the stuff, right? So coming to this one, yeah, you have to monitor the pipeline also, right? Right, you have to monitor the pipeline continuously, and you have to reduce the pipeline as per the traces, as per the metrics of the pipeline, whatever it is, GitHub actions and all those stuff. So it's all responsibility of DevOps engineer. These many these many tasks are there for you guys. So I know it will be very much complex if you only do it, but I'm there for you guys, right? Okay. And also you can add integration tests, all those smoke tests also. As I said, path-based testing is done here. So whenever you change something in the docs, it won't trigger unit tests. Because whenever you change only code, it will trigger unit tests, right? It should not trigger again unit test whenever you change some readme file also. Some guys will do that anyway. I know I'm triggering YouTubers too much, but yeah, they should be triggered. I'm being harsh for them. Okay, as I said, YouTube channel or YouTube video, whatever it. I mean, everyone just these YouTubers.
Eh, yeah, for the specific topic which
Okay,
we
maybe
have to
if
the
I
prerequisites.
specify that, okay, maybe there would be an issue. So that is why I'm not specifying it. If I find good video or something like that. But just YouTube it, right? I mean, if you just search Docker Compose, you know, right? What is a good video? Are
Yeah,
you
yeah,
able to figure it out?
we knew.
All right. Even for example, Dagger, if you just type in, oh no, I would not open the YouTube because copyright and all the stuff. So yeah, let's continue. And as I said, you will have multiple integration up to 4 only. It's like 1.5 hour or a shit. Just saying only it is taking a lot much time. Okay, executing. Okay, as I said, fifth will be in the main one. As I said, deployment into multi-region. If I open my architecture diagram, it is initial architecture only, basic only. Some people are mad at that this architecture anyway.
For sure, like if it is basic only this much, then if it is advanced, we are like it cannot be imaginable, I guess, the point for sure.
So you would be visualizing whole things using my company, CloudWiz, right? You'll be using my company tool also. Yeah, so much complex, but I am there for you guys, right? I mean, why to worry? I'm there for you. So I'll give all documents, how to execute, all source code, how to do step-by-step things, how to do. So don't worry it. So, some extra concepts I may not say. You have to figure it out yourself, because if I do like that everything, it would be like the spoon feeding kind of. So some topics or some things I will not give in the document. You have to figure it out yourself. Right? Is that okay?
Yes, yes, Deepak.
Everyone talk, guys. I mean, it is not a teaching session or something like that. We are engineers, right? I mean, we should talk.
Okay, sir.
Pratiksha and Aniket, Som, Nevrat, Haji, Vidya, Nikhil, talk. Vishnu.
So we use only Ubuntu or some other Linux provider also.
We
Linux.
can use, but most used is Ubuntu, right? That is why.
It will be most easy to use, right?
You are saying about deploying the EC2 instance thing, huh? EC2 instance or nodes or all those stuff. I am thinking Linux, okay? Amazon Linux or yeah. Whatever
What
it
about
is.
the CI/CD pipeline we maintain and we create day to day? Uh, uh,
So that can be either Ubuntu or Linux. Okay, I think I deployed under what is it? Yeah, Ubuntu only.
okay.
Even
We
Apache Linux you
actually,
can use it. That is lightweight Docker image. Generally, that is
yeah,
mostly 3
usable,
MB or
right?
5 MB it is there. So yeah, very less, right? It is mostly used in the CI/CD. We can use that.
So like in our organization, entire test dev and UAT servers will be managed in RHEL.
Yeah, that is also fine. I mean,
Yes,
it's
Red
around
Hat Enterprise Linux.
your flexibility.
Yeah, all the servers will be in Red Hat only. Like there won't be any major difference comparing with the distros, I guess. So
Yeah.
there will be almost same. Like whether like there will use yum update and here you will use apt update.
Not
That's
to
it.
argue that much, but everywhere it seems it's all about.
Yes, yes. It's totally depend on
Generally,
the
CTOs decide according to the
correct, correct,
application.
correct.
So even if I say yeah, RHCL is also good, but maybe Ubuntu is mostly used, or Ubuntu or Apache Linux is mostly used. So we'll use in the CI/CD pipeline that. Right. Apache Linux is most used, I think, so in the CI/CD. If I say what is Apache Linux, you can type it in Yahoo or Google. It's a lightweight Linux Docker image. What is that? Apache or what is that? I forgot that name. Lightweight Docker image. What does that mean? Lightweight Linux Docker image. I forgot that name. Alpine, sorry, Alpine.
Alpine.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Alpine. Arey, Apache, I'm saying. You should correct it, right? Yeah, as I said, it's around like 3 MB or 5 MB, I think so. What is this? Generally, your Ubuntu would be around 500 MB. Yeah, this is like 5 MB, guys. Okay. So we are optimizing a lot of things, right? So we'll use that. I'm saying Apache and Apache. Apache is a open source organization, I think so, right? You have Apache Kafka, Apache,
Web
uh,
server, Apache web server, I guess.
yeah, Apache, yeah, all those stuff. Okay, Apache is
Correct.
a organization, I think so. Apache bike. So
The
yeah, it's a
first
software
one,
foundation.
software, yeah. It's an
You
supporting
have
for
multiple projects, guys. I mean,
correct.
you like same like your CNCF, right? You know CNCF, right, guys?
yeah, CNC.
Ecosystem. Yeah. Same like CNCF ecosystem, you have all those projects. It is your projects. So where are I'm not able to click where why? So let's see. Oh yeah, these are the projects around. Lot of projects. Mm. Oh, this many are. These guys are doing. HTTP web server is also one of the project. Okay, Kafka.
Correct. Apache Kafka.
These many are
Apache is also a vast
very vast. I mean,
platform. Yeah,
very vast. I mean, this is like a oh shit. I never know that this many projects are there.
Zookeeper, that also we,
Yeah, Zookeeper also. Zookeeper, Spark also. It's a data
I
processing
guess,
tool.
I guess so many things are
Hadoop also,
in
right?
Apache also.
Apache Hadoop. Where is this H? A B C D E F G H. It's right. Okay. Did I
So my
forget?
question is that
Yeah, Hadoop
we
also.
daily using the so many small things, but we have to continuously again and again we have to delete the sources, and we
Yeah,
again creating
yeah.
that source because we have to maintain the cost of AWS, right?
So everything will be using Terraform. So coming to accounts, account section, accounts won't be that much cost. You're creating around 4 to 5 accounts, so it is like a zero cost only. Nothing like zero, $1 maybe.
So
Yeah,
we are using Terraform,
yeah, completely
everything in
Terraform.
Terraform
See,
code,
for
right?
example, you provision your EKS cluster using Terraform. After 1 hour or 2 hours, you'll do that Terraform destroy. So maybe if you don't destroy, I am doing is that in the pipeline only, I am mentioning that after 2 hours, destroy this, run this command. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah, that will be easy one.
I'm doing everything for you guys. You should do some guys. Okay, that is because to save the cost of you guys. I know many people don't do Terraform destroy. Maybe forgot due to some things.
They forgot and then they will get
Huge bill,
proper.
not some $1 or $2. If they forgot for 20 days, 30 days, they would get around like uh 1 lakh or 2 lakhs. Also, so sometimes it happens. So we are deploying into multi-region and all those stuff, right? You will get not 1 lakh, but anyway around 30,000 or 40,000 if you forgot. So please be careful. Okay. That is why everything using Terraform, no manual using console. Okay, if I go beyond, as I said, it would be multi-region, right? Multi-region, right? You will have multiple regions and cross region replication is also enabled. Means that you can have the replicas of your database in the cross region, read replicas in the cross region to enhance the availability of your project. Right. And moreover, these things, Route 53, this firewall and DDoS attack, the shield, and you will apply these things called failover routing policy for example, failover means if this region fails, automatically that will be redirected to this region. So yeah, that is a failover routing policy. And CloudFront for CDN, I mean, I'll explain that later. All will be using Terraform and all the stuff. So yeah, it will be interesting to see that. And as I said, this whole deployment we are doing in the uh, cloud environment, right? Similar type of things we'll be doing in the Kubernetes. Similar, maximum similar. You can have multiple nodes, multiple deployments, auto scaling in the Kubernetes, maybe VPA or HPA, or maybe Carpenter tools. Some Carpenter is there. Uh, Not the wooden carpenter. A carpenter is a tool to auto scale
Yes,
your
yes,
nodes.
correct. Yeah, carpenter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you can back up your HCD. Maybe some things are going over your head, but just consume. That's it. Okay. Afterwards, you can ask doubts or something like that. So we'll follow some HCD to back up. Sorry, Veloro to back up your HCD at EKS cluster and all the stuff. We'll be doing a lot of things. So don't worry about those things. Now monitoring has not decided much. I'll decide later. Okay. About that, how to do that. I mean, because you have multiple environments, right? You have infrastructure at this environment. You have to monitor your Kubernetes also. You have to monitor your accounts also, right? There are 3 layers of infra. One is accounts, multiple accounts. You have to monitor this. You have to apply some policies. You have to monitor your cloud infra, right? You have to monitor your Kubernetes cluster, right? 3 techs. You're covering all those things. So generally, some companies use this whole this infra, or maybe some companies use Kubernetes. See, whenever you're deploying this thing, somewhat cost would be high, but whenever you're deploying in the Kubernetes cluster, you're setting whole the stuff, the cost would be 60% lesser than this. Right. Okay. So I decided that both would be beneficial for you guys, but generally in a company scenario, maybe you would have one. Maybe if the company has more cost, then maybe you can achieve the failover from this also. Okay. My voice, okay, my throat. So yeah, that's multi-region, multi-availability zone and all those stuff. So we'll be using Cloudflare also to use that failover routing policy here also. I'll say that later, but yeah. And even you will maybe you'll have, I don't have an on-prem, maybe if I can borrow from my friend company, if I can, maybe I'll show you how to connect your on-prem and all the stuff. Nikhil, did you work on on-prem? I mean, you said that you work on on-prem, right? Nikhil,
Yes, Deepak.
yeah, did you, how did you, I mean, what things have you worked on on-prem? I mean, can you explain some things? I mean, because as far as my experience, not much in the on-prem. Reality is you have worked on on-prem, right? Somewhat.
Yep, like in last couple of years, like I have mostly worked on like tools like PagerDuty, Rundeck. The most of the work time was like creating and automating tasks and set up an infrastructure and with reducing the build time and reducing the image structures for these
Okay.
people by using Terraform, Docker, and some
So you
internal
can
tools.
you can do Terraform with the on-prem also.
These guys are using like I don't think like it is completely on-prem, but yeah, we are implementing to cloud for the present company I'm working on. And in previous company I worked for Bank of America, where I most of the time I used for like being a part of release and config engineer, where I used to take care of branching strategies, and I just play with the frameworks where I used to like create the pipelines for them, and I used to give them a branching strategies on particular scenarios.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that will also. And here, if I say the case where I have to connect my databases at multi-region to the on-prem, can we connect using Direct Connect and Kafka?
Like I'm not sure.
Okay, let's see how it goes. If I can borrow from my friend the on-prem server, maybe I can use that to say that okay, this data will be transferred to this. Maybe some data transfer also occurs, but anyway, uh, maybe I can do that also, but I'm not sure if I can do. If I can borrow, I'm messaging him because I forgot afterwards. Yeah, because he has some on-prem. He, wo- he has some MNC, so yeah. Because maybe I can get that on-prem in and okay, he has on-prem, I think so. Yeah, maybe let me ask him. Okay, okay, there will be rent. Okay, I'll afford that. Cool. If possible, I'll do that. Maybe I'll show you on-prem how to connect that. But that will be somewhat complex though, extended and all the stuff. Yeah, I'll try that. If not possible, maybe next batch or something like that. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. Let's go on to the next one. So it's 158 anyway. Yeah, let's continue. And moreover, as I said, multi-region and all the stuff, you'll be using some Aurora, AWS Aurora database and all those stuff to have the multi-region support. Maybe You will use some read replicas to have that less latency and all those stuff, right? You'll have the subdomains also, right? For staging environment, different subdomain. For production or live environment, different domain, or same domain but different subdomain. Subdomain means you can specify dev dot dev dot openproject.com. Okay, that's the dev dot is a subdomain or something like that. And for example, openproject.com, that's a full domain and that's a live environment. So you can use subdomains. Even Google use that, Uber uses that, everyone uses that. So there will be one domain and they'll be working on subdomains. There may be n number of subdomains. Okay, you can use n number of subdomains. No problem. As I said, you can have that backup also, multi-cloud strategy, or this on-premise also to have backup, but somewhat cost heavy. As I said. Sorry, premise, right? My Grammarly, why it is not working? Shit. Okay, on-premise. Okay, RTS. Array, shit. The same algorithm is shit. Okay, you can deploy into multi-cloud also, but you know that would be hectic anyway. Yeah, those are the things we'll be doing in those things. Yeah, and sixth one is this cluster, the Kubernetes cluster provisioning. Okay, what I mean, multiple EKS clusters, same like your multiple multiple regions, multiple accounts. I want to provision multiple EKS clusters also, multi-cluster management. So yeah, I'll do that to get that more understanding. And you will have multiple clusters with the help of Terraform. We'll be provisioning using CI/CD pipeline. Automatically, when you run that CI/CD pipeline using Terraform, it will create this infrastructure. So yeah, and these things are good. I mean, ALB controller. ALB controller means Amazon load balancer, ingress controller. You'll be using that. Uh, are you guys are aware of Kubernetes? I mean,
Yes, very
alright.
basic actually.
Okay, okay. Up to that, you can learn something. I mean, up to
Like
6, it will
etcd,
take a lot of time.
etcd,
So yeah,
yeah, etcd
it
and
doesn't.
manifest deployment spots, replica
Yes.
sets. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll be also set upping the EBS CSI driver to support your uh, persistent volume as a EBS volume. So yeah, I'll be explaining that also, but don't worry. So you can add the additional add-ons for it using Terraform and all the stuff, right? And moreover, you can even use connect RDS RDS database with a EKS cluster, because this application would require real-time database. So yeah, in the production environment, we'll do that. So and next thing is that maybe setting the Kubernetes dashboard, most important one, right? When you have multi-cluster and all the stuff, you will set up a Kubernetes dashboard kind of thing to see how all the deployments and all those stuff. Right? By default, EKS will do that for you, but whenever you do multi-clusters and all the stuff, you would need a custom Kubernetes dashboard. So, and one more thing is that usage of Terraform, Terramate, or maybe K's GPT also is fine. I forgot that. Why K's GPT is used here? Because K's GPT is a tool where, for example, you will install that as a CRD in your Kubernetes cluster. It automatically fetches information from API server, hits the API server with a gRPC protocol or something like that, and fetches information. And for example, if you type KHCPT, explain my cluster structure, it will explain whole cluster structure by seeing your API server, hitting your API server. And if you got any error, you can ask KHCPT directly, because it fetches the information from your cluster directly. No need to go to ChatGPT and do that, right? It will be helpful for troubleshooting your cluster. AI is everywhere, right? Everyone uses GPT, right? Guys, you guys,
Yes, yes.
you can use it. Yeah, we do what? I also you do. I mean, not a problem, guys. But you have to be good at process. I mean, you have to understand things and apply things. Then only you can get better outcome from the GPT, right? ChatGPT will not do whole projects for you. You have to think. You have to write the documents, write the Terraform code. You have to structure things and all those stuff, right? There are many things as well. You can set up your on-premise Kubernetes environment using KOps. KOps, okay. KOps is a method. KOps is a framework or a method or so something like that. You can set up in your on-premise environment, okay, using KOps. So yeah. And as I said, as I forgot this rollback also. There are many things as well. I'll write that. I'll write that whenever sessions are happening. So yeah, some rollbacks and all the stuff. Prompt we need very accurate but yeah. That is the thing. That's the reality. So you need knowledge, not like you can't directly say that, okay. You can't directly say that, directly copy this whole things and say that ChatGPT do it for me. It won't do it. It may be giving the code, but even that doesn't work. There will be like many errors, like thousands of errors, right? Have to resolve it and all the stuff. Even I use ChatGPT, I will be frank, so yeah. But not like everything with the ChatGPT or something like that. I'll write a lot of code. Yeah, I mean, 50 or 60% I'll be writing, maybe 40% or 30% ChatGPT. Maybe my view is like that, okay? Because I do in another way, okay? And okay, coming to seventh one, which is Argo CD. Okay, we set up the cluster, but we have to deploy things, right? So we'll be using Argo CD. So we'll be setting Argo CD controller in the Kubernetes as CRD, right? And moreover, we'll be integrating with whole things, and we'll be using HashiCorp Vault for secret management. Guys, I mean, Kubernetes secrets are like senseless because they are just base 64 encoded, easily hackable, easily vulnerable. So yeah, we'll be using HashiCorp Vault and some best practices in the while securing secrets, like rotating your secrets and all the stuff. So yeah, we'll be following those best practices and DevSecOps practices, whole stuff. And you can have the cloud native PG also, but that is completely optional. Cloud native PG, if I describe, maybe they have a website. Let me see. So it's Postgres operator where you can run your database in a pod. Okay, you can run your database as a pod, right? Instead of persistent volumes, right? But it is only supported for Postgres, so that's a drawback or something like that. But you can run your Postgres as a pod, and yeah, you can that will be much helpful compared to persistent volume or something like that. Okay, and that will be persistent pod. So yeah, not like if pod restarts or something like that. That doesn't zero data loss, right? Synchronization, replication, high availability, disaster recovery, all the stuff. There are many tools anyway. And KHCPT, as I said, for troubleshooting, K9 for dashboarding, Trivi for manifest scanning. You can scan your whole things using Trivi, the manifest. So yeah, I'll decide on monitoring later, maybe. I have now just wrote some things, okay. I'll add a lot of things later, but these are basic only. Maybe monitoring or alerting using CloudWatch and X-rays, configuring Prometheus and Grafana and all those stuff. ELK stack, you know ELK, right? Elastic. Uh,
Logstash Kibana.
yeah, Logstats and Kibana.
Correct.
Yeah. And yeah, ELK stack, configuration with heartbeats and file beats and all those stuff. You can even uh, have that kernel level observability using eBBF and OTel. I'll be discussing that also, but I have not decided the monitoring yet. I'll decide that later and inform you guys. Okay. Now I know some of the things I need to improve. Yeah, I'll improve the as the fellowship proceeds. Right. I'll add lot many things. I know this will be somewhat maybe complex or basic. If you're good DevOps engineer, I'm not demotivating it. If you're good DevOps engineer, if you're good DevOps engineer, maybe it will be very easy for you. I'm not demotivating, but anyway, that's a reality.
It's a fact as well, Deepak, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not demotivating because sometimes people do not know things. That is completely okay. But yeah, that's the main agenda, right? I have to empower people. So anything, guys? I mean, I know 2 hours 10 session, 2 hours ka session. It's like a lot. So yeah, this is what it is. Yeah, my throat went off anyway. Maybe you can share in your LinkedIn also about the program. You have the topnet link, right? I mean, just take a screenshot or something like this. Yeah, take a screenshot or something like this and share it in your LinkedIn. Deepak is doing. Maybe tag me. You have my LinkedIn account, right? Okay. Any doubts, guys? I mean, I know. Guys, any doubts? I mean, speak out.
Nothing for me as of now. It's good. I'm actually looking forward to start working on this.
Yeah, cool. I thought today, Jira, today I thought I would explain the Jira one. Maybe next time. Okay, Sunday. Okay, Sunday I'll do the Jira one. I'll explain how tickets are made and all that stuff. That
So
doesn't take.
yeah. So like
Jira has like 10 days to
usually,
stop.
like sessions will be on Tuesday and the doubts clarification will be on Sunday, right? Deepak?
Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's what like anyway we don't have we didn't had a session for the Jira, so that's fine.
Yeah. Today it's like 2 hours already. So yeah,
Yeah.
maybe Sunday works right.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
everyone should join, man. I mean, only 13 members, people. Okay, if they are busy, maybe we can be flexible timing. Maybe I'll make a poll in the group. Oh, if they're flexible, 7:30 or 8 also works, right? 7:30 or 8. So yeah, this is about the description and whole things. Whole description only this took this much time. Generally, your project description would take around like 10 minutes or 10 minutes, right? Okay. So Pramod is asking how you imported shapes in Lucid. So you can import your shapes in Lucid by just Tapping this import one. Images, import image, and directly what are the images and all the stuff. You can't import my CV. Okay. It sees there here also. Ubuntu. Whatever it is, you can import from this. Okay. Yeah, this is what it is. You can import GIF also, OneDrive also from your OneDrive, Streamlines also, maybe icons. You can search from here. For example, GitLab. Yeah, you will get those icons and you can place that here. So generally, this Lucid chart doesn't support more than 200 shapes, but have around 1,000 shapes now. Due to because my friend has some educational account or something like that, so he was like a lecturer or something like that. So I took from him. So I was using his Aditya account. So yeah, this is his account, but he doesn't know anything about this. Okay. This is how you can import and connect like this. It is simple only. No need to worry about those things. Okay. Okay. Complete your task. Any doubts, guys? I mean, okay. Yeah, you have recording somewhere. You can maybe do it using 2x, right? YouTube support 2x. You can use that to view all the things. Any doubts, guys? I mean, you can unmute and
Well,
ask.
this
So,
will, is that really that it will be complete in 2 months, maybe? I guess it will take some more time, I guess.
are you saying that it will
This
take
project
more
will be,
time? Yeah, it will take that much time only. If it takes some time for you, I'll be there for you. Support. Don't worry. So support means first you have to check on Stack Overflow or the ChatGPT. Ask that tool. Then if that doesn't solve, maybe it is a complex problem. Then I can solve it. Not directly. Okay. Yeah.
No, no, like with this many complex tools and things, is it for sure it will get completed within 2 months. He's asking Deepak. I guess it will take some more time for sure. Yeah,
Maybe if it takes, I will extend it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, totally fine.
Okay. No problem. So yeah, I don't feel that much complex because this is a daily task of me. Because yeah, anyway. Uh, anything guys? So Nikhil, Vidya, speak out, guys. Haji. Soma, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, fine. Is that good? I mean, are you ready to implement? Yeah, so are you there?
Yeah, how do you want to implement it right now? But I'm too overwhelmed right now.
Okay, it may be hectic for you now, anyway. But
So
habitually,
many new tools, data
2 hours is very
and
less.
all.
Let me say that 2 hours is very less. Habituate for these things. Maybe if you are working as a DevOps engineer, maybe sometimes 8 hours also you have to sit. But prioritize your health. Okay. Don't just sit. Maybe sometime walk around. Maybe take some breaks. Right. I'm also taking some breaks, right? Because I have to talk 2 hours straight. Okay, that is a thing. Okay. and maybe so around times for intro. Yeah, thanks for intro. Intro only took this much time, I know. We
So, like, do we need to install any some tools or something to like before getting started with the project and all, Deepak?
Yeah, there are prerequisites, right? You have to this third session about.
Okay. So we need to have Docker Hub account and some prerequisites will be there, right? So
You'll not install on your laptop, but on the instances or GitLab.
okay, all things will be done on cloud itself.
Yeah, cloud.
Okay.
Maybe some other things like maybe if you want to run your Docker in your local, you can install Docker desktop or something.
Sure, sure.
These are the description and all the stuff. Okay. If any doubts, just ping me. If you are okay with these things, uh maybe somewhat research about these things, about architecture and all those stuff. Maybe be curious, ask things, and yeah, that's it for today. Yeah, yeah. Then
Thank
bye,
you.
guys.
Thank you so much, Deepak. Thank you
Hope
for your
you
time.
get understanding all those.
Yes, yes.
Just copy fourth point. What is it? Fourth point. This fourth point or this fourth point? What are you saying? And in past in group, paste in group.
I say that just from copy from 1 to 4 and then paste in WhatsApp.
So they can understand the complexities here. Huh?
Okay, we will ready for the prerequisites and we look into that. That how
Okay, okay. I will. Maybe I'll share this whole document. I think I shared it, I think so.
Yes,
Right?
we have this document. Yes.
So yeah, you can do that. I'll just share this also. So this is print, export. I'll share this, okay? Maybe I'll copy this. Where is this? Should I copy or I'll just do that, okay? I'll just uh maybe okay. Where should I? Recording has stopped, right? Stop that. Still
Not
recording.
yet. Not yet. Yeah. It's still recording.
Yeah, have to stop. No, it isn't. You won't post in the YouTube, right? I mean, on the public, right? So no, it is, I think so. Are you sure you want to stop recording to the cloud? If yes, you will receive email notification when the cloud recording is